our second topic, which is SAP GRC and how we enable it to be much more than just a compliance tool for SAP. As you can see, the parts which are on this slide are more or less the same as the one before. Of course, here the plug and play add-on is not built out of logic apps. Rather, it's built out of the 3 pillars of SAP GRC, which are role management, provisioning, and authorization management. We have very small enhancements in these pillars. Basically, we're using the standard functionality of the product, and this is something that Milena is just about to show you. The difference here, which we have, is that the communication, exactly because we want to keep the standard functionality of SAP GRC, is based on SOAP protocol, not on Scheme, because Scheme is not that popular with SAP GRC. Probably you already know that, but SOAP is quite popular, and there are standard services there. Additionally, we have still our event framework, and this is the one that's being used in order to send events to our ROIAM solution and respectively provision. In this case, we picked Salesforce because Salesforce is an interesting case here. First is a non-SAP system. Second, it's a cloud non-SAP system. And both of these seem to be a bit tough for SAP GRC to handle out of the box, but not for us. Let's jump into the demonstration. Milena, please show us how that's done.
Hey everyone, let me share my screen where I will show you first the risk analysis setup. All right, so what we have done for this presentation, we've set up 2 functions which are going to be included in the access risks, of course. So we have an administrator action here in this function, and then the other one which we have set is for the resource manager. So of course, how you would set up, we'll have a specific rule set that we have designed, and then in access risk we have a critical action set up, and then also a segregation of duties. We have picked up the specific rule set that we want for today, and we have assigned a risk owner. And then here we have the 2 functions which are going to trigger the segregation of duties risk. So without further ado, let's see how this all works in practice. So we pick up the system that is communicating with GRC through ROIAM. We want to select our specific rule set, of course, to the one that which we want to check the risk. We pick up a user, and then we will trigger the risk analysis. As you can see, there is a high risks where we have checked it, we're aware of it, and we can take the necessary steps to mitigate it. The next thing I want to show you, as you can see, the agenda is pretty packed today, is I would like to create an access request, and we want to provision via this access request to Salesforce. So it will be a new account for the purpose of our exercise today. We have a new user. I'm going to enter the necessary details, and of course, need to point to the correct business process, and then select the specific role. But of course, first would be the system. So I'm selecting the role that we want. There won't be any violations because this is a user that it's brand new. It doesn't exist in Salesforce yet. And as you can see, there are no violations. So I need to complete the manager because we are using the one-step approver here for the presentation. And you will notice that there is nothing different than a standard access request that you would create. Okay, so just adding the email, and then I'm ready to click the submit button and then approve the request. The request is now created, and since I am the manager, I'm going to navigate to the working box and approve the request. I just said that things are standard, and you have seen all of these screens before. So let's have a quick look at what the setup is. So we are establishing a connection between GRC and ROIAM, and this is done in the SOA Manager. So we have a specific connection for the target that we have created, and I'm going to show you that. What is great is that what is really useful is that this is the same regardless of what type of system you're connecting. So it is using the same URL all the time. So setup is straightforward from that perspective. And then what I would like to also show you is the setup in GRC, of course, where we set up all the connection types. So this is our connection, as you can see. And again, as mentioned just a moment ago, it's the same URL. Another thing that would probably be interesting for you for the setup is the different integrated scenarios. So what we have our custom connection type, which is a ROIAM connection type. And as you can see, this is our target connector using our custom connection type to achieve the connectivity between the two systems. Now let's check. I guess you're all interested to see whether the request has been successful and the user now appears in Salesforce. So let me log in and demonstrate that as a final step in today's presentation when it comes to GRC. So just logged in into Salesforce, and I'm going to look for the newly created user. There we go. We see the user has been created, and I would like to see whether the correct assignment is appearing, and that's the case as expected. So we just demonstrated the successful provision to Salesforce.